Good evening. As promised, my hair's in a clip. Melissa, I told you it would be.
Hi!
Here's Elena. She's doing her math homework. I'm going to make a quick video for you.
It's stupid.
What's stupid? The math homework?
Yeah.
It's not stupid.
Yeah,
it's fun.
it is.
Okay. First off, I want to tell you that I'm sending you a new schedule. I'm moving your word journeys, or if you are doing words their way, that's not going to be due until the end of next week, which is the 2nd. Okay. I'm also dropping the discussion this week, and I want you to start working on the student support team activity. Now listen, you are all going to have different information. I grouped you according to grade level. I did not open the box purposefully until tonight because I know some of you are finished with your work, but there are others that are struggling to get work in. It is not going to be due by Sunday. I want you to get a preliminary plan this week for how your group is going to operate. If you're going to use the online discussion, then you are going to have to coordinate and decide what times you're going to go on so that you can talk to one another. You do not have to use that if you don't want to. You guys decide how you're going to operate. How this is going to work is each of you is going to introduce your student to the other individuals in the group. So, for instance, if I'm in the high school group and I assess Brittany, I might have Brittany's 9th grade, 8th grade, 7th grade FCAT scores, okay? And I would share those FCAT scores, and the way I probably would do it is I would make a collaborate video, or I think you guys just call them illuminates, but now they're called collaborate, or I would do a YouTube video, or I would make a PowerPoint using Camtasia. However you guys decide you want to do it, that's fine. That's up to you, okay? But the whole purpose of this is to get feedback from the rest of the group. And in reality, probably what would work best is to, and the only reason I didn't do this before, is to have those groups up until the very end when week 5, which is in what, 2 weeks, you give the IRI and the fluency assessment. And you may want to talk to each other about what you're finding and get feedback from one another. I want you to see how you can work as professionals. Okay, so let's say that I decide I'm going to make a Camtasia video, which includes me making a PowerPoint, and you can hear my voice in there talking about Brittany, and maybe I have a slide for the interest inventory. Maybe I have FCAT data on there on the table for the grades that I have. Maybe I gave her, because I am her classroom teacher, maybe I have given her a running record. Maybe before this class started, I gave her an IRI. You all are going to have different types of data tools, and you need to explain them to each other. You know, like a running record, a fluency test, running record might be required in your school, where you have to test the student for 1 minute, and you need to mark the errors, and maybe your district requires you to do a miscue analysis to figure out what kind of errors are being made. It's all going to be different, okay? And that's where you guys work as a group to say, hey, at our school, we do X, Y, or Z, and if you did that with a student, then these are the kind of results you might get. It might tell you more about X, Y, or Z. I mean, you basically are presenting this student to one another and trying to talk each other through what you're finding out, what the data is revealing, and where you go next with the students, okay? In Florida, like I said, a lot of times we have FCAT data. We were required when I was teaching high school to do 3 fluency tests a year. We were not required to analyze the miscues, the errors that those students were making. You'll learn more about that with the IRI if you don't know what miscues are.
What's an ROI?
An IRI, here we go, we're going to teach her here. An IRI is when you're doing a reading inventory for students to find out how they're reading.
What's that?
I gave you one a long time ago where I had you read for me. Do you remember that?
No.
And I tried to figure out what grade level you were reading on and what your independent reading level was and your frustration level.
I don't really get what you're saying.
She doesn't get what I'm saying. That's okay. I'll show you later, okay? Okay, so basically it's a time for you to share with your colleagues. You need to, I would like this week to hear from you and just to know what your group's plan is, and I would like a leader of each group.
I'm the leader of your group.
She's going to be the leader of my group. Okay, that's enough.
No. Okay.
Yeah, I told you it's enough. I would like to know, what your plan is, and to not stress you out. I mean, I think if you feel like this is working, I think this is something that you guys could really turn in at the end of the semester. If you even want to continue on, week 6, you'll finally be finished with the assessments. You'll have the interest inventory done. You'll have either word journeys or words their way completed. You'll have a fluency test and your IRI done. You'll be finished. So, I want you guys to talk to me about how this is working for you. And again, you don't have to use the online discussion rooms unless you want to. It just is an easy way to connect you. Okay? If you have any more questions, don't hesitate to ask. Do not feel badly if, like, for instance, Patrick's working with one of his friend's daughters, and he may not have a lot of testing data because he's not working one-on-one with that teacher. He is not that child's teacher.
Wait, your boyfriend, Patrick?
No, not my boyfriend, Patrick. Patrick is in my class. Say hi to Patrick.
Hi.
She's nothing like me, is she? So, do not be fearful about talking to your peers. Like I said, assessment is not an exact science. We are learning from one another. I am learning from you. I'm learning about your assessments from around the nation and even across the world. So, talk to one another, okay? Let me know if you have any more questions. Thanks to Alyssa for making sure that I understand where we are with the class. Continue to ask questions, and you know that I will answer you.
You can ask me questions for psycho with.
For what?
For psycho. Wait.
You mean for psychology?
Yeah.
For psychology. She wants you to ask her psychology questions. Have a nice day. Bye.